Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Legacy Farmer, the podcast. This is your host, JC Young, and today's topic of discussion is this: no plan B. So today, my friends, we're going to be talking about just making decisions inside of your life. And I really want to talk about the number one reason that I feel a majority of people fail in this life. And this isn't just based off of theory. This is based off of what I actually experienced in my life. Now, a lot of you have listened to this podcast. You know that I left the banking industry back in 2016. I up and quit. I did not tell anybody. I did not tell my wife. I did not tell anyone that I was quitting that day. I just made the decision to go, right? And you need to understand how difficult that decision was, and also the hard times that came after that. Because when I quit the bank, like I said, I did not tell my wife, and we had $5,000 or $6,000 to our name at that time, and I threw us into a very, very dark period and challenging time in our life. But I was prepared though as well. I say that I was prepared mentally. Was I prepared as far as having a game plan in place? Not at all. Not even close. Mentally, I was ready to take the jump. Mentally, I was ready to push through however many years it was going to be that were going to be extremely challenging in order to build the life that I wanted for myself and my family. Now, the reason I'm talking about this today is because a lot of the members that do come into Legacy Farmer and the conversations that we do have, it's people that are no different than you. They're at a crossroads in life, right? They feel stuck. They feel like they're just not sure what to do, or even worse, they know what to do, but they're just scared to take the jump. Now, through my experience and what it taught me, the first few years of being an entrepreneur, I struggled and was bouncing around from thing to thing, trying to find my way and figure out what I needed to do. It was the end of 2018, beginning of 2019 when I started Legacy Farmer, and that's the first time that things actually took off for me. Now, going through all those experiences, everyone is always looking for safety and security, right? Everybody needs a plan B. Everybody's looking for that plan B. When I left the banking industry, the reason it took me about 1.5 years to build up the mental courage to leave the bank was because I was sitting there trying to figure out, okay, once I go, what's plan B, right? What are we going to do? Because I'm burning the boats right here, right? I'm literally pushing myself into this place where I have no option, nowhere to go but going forward. Now, the thing is I spent the first couple years of being an entrepreneur, 2 to 3 years, of looking for that plan B, like looking for the safety, looking for the security and everything like that. Now, what's crazy is there were some things that happened in my life right before I started Legacy Farmer where I had the rug pulled out from under me, and I finally accepted the fact that there was no plan B. I finally accepted that, hey, this is the path that we're choosing. This is where we're going, right? And this is just what needs to be done. Now, I talk about that like it's a light thing. There's a massive mental battle that goes on there, my friend. Like when somebody is trying to decide, do they take, path A versus path B? And path A is filled with all the risk. Path A is filled also with everything you want in your life. And path A is filled with unlimited potential of what your life can become. And then you have path B over here, and it's safe and it's secure and it's safe income and it's a 401k and it's health insurance. And this is what 99% of the population chooses. And I'm not saying they're bad individuals, but I'm just saying, look at what someone is sacrificing by doing that, right? And I always think about when I get to the end of my life, I'm going to have a conversation, right? And it's going to be going through like, what are your regrets? I don't want to have any regrets. I don't want to look back at my life and be like, man, I should have done this or I should have done that. And, if I'd have just had the courage to do it, I don't want to look back at that way. So the reason I share all this with you is because this is something I wish I would have known going through my journey, especially in 2017 and 2018. During that time, I had already burned the boats at the bank, right? I had burned the boats there on that decision. I was moving forward. Then I transitioned back into like looking for safety, looking for consistency and all that stuff. And it was like this mental internal battle going on for me. And the lesson I wish I would have just like really learned during that time was that the only way to truly choose the path that you want, right? The path that gives you everything you desire, the path with unlimited potential, right? We're talking about path A. The only way to get that is to burn path B. You can't give yourself any other option. You can't give yourself any other opportunity. And this came up with one of our members here just a couple weeks ago. Got a job offer. The job offer was right in line with, with plan B and path B and what they wanted, and everything would be safe and secure and all this stuff. But then they had path A looking at them in the face, and they have a massive opportunity with their family seed dealership and purchasing it and taking this thing to the next level. And it's just, there's unlimited potential with what his life could become there. And he was sitting at this crossroads, right? And anyways, he had the guts and the courage to choose path A. And I'm so proud of this guy. I'm so happy for him because I understand the intensity of the decision that he just made because I had to make it. I've had to make it several times. And it's the hardest path to choose, but man, is it the most rewarding. So the reason I share all this with you is because a lot of you listen to this podcast right now, you may be stuck at the same crossroads. You may have two paths in front of you. One path is filled with, again, the risk, the challenges, the hardships, the lessons, the growth, the financials, financial and wealth that you want, the unlimited potential and opportunity that you want for your life and your family going forward. Or you have path B, which is you stay in the same job, maybe you accept a different one or whatever. There's a lot of you listening to this right now where you're like, man, I feel like I'm at those crossroads. I am of the opinion that the only way to truly make path A happen is you have to completely remove the possibility of path B. You have to burn those boats. You have to burn everything there, and you have to decide, hey, I'm taking the island. Like one way or another, we're moving forward. We're going to see what God has in store for us. And that was the mentality I was in when I left the bank. And then, like I said, the next 2 to 3 years, I find myself like just mentally battling, looking for safety and security for my family. I had a wife and 2 little kids at the time. We had our third in 2017. So yeah, I was looking for some consistency and security there. And at the same time though, that was like stealing my focus from focusing on plan A. Like just focusing on the journey, focusing on one foot in front of the other, taking the lessons, making the mistakes, and understanding that I was building myself as a person over that time frame. But so many people, you look around at a majority of the people in your life, just like I do, and they've chosen plan B. They've chosen path B. They've chosen the safety, the security, and all that stuff. That doesn't make them bad people. I'm not saying that. But if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're most likely in the similar mindset that I am, where you want your life to be meaningful and full of growth for you, right? And I'm not saying the other path isn't meaningful. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, and when you're taking path A, like you want different things, right? And from that, guys, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot. There's going to be a lot of challenges. There's going to be a lot of really hard lessons that you have to learn. And it's important that you learn lessons. Otherwise, God will bring them back into your life as many times as necessary until you actually get the point, right? So, but I'm just going to tell you that path, right? The path A, the unknown, the risky path, the one with unlimited potential, the one with the wealth that you want for your family and the legacy that you want to build and the fulfillment that you want to feel internally as an individual, knowing that you're building something great for yourself and your family. I'm going to tell you from my experience, that path is worth it. It's the most difficult path. It's the most worthwhile path as well, because you become a different individual down that path, right? Path B, you're most likely going to stay the same person for the next, several decades, and that's going to be it. Then you're going to pass on, and that's it, right? That's your life. But path A is filled with so many lessons and opportunities and experiences, right? And you will grow massively as an individual when you take that path. And yes, it's going to be hard. It could be hard for 3 years. It could be hard for 5 years. It could be hard for 10 years, right? But at the end of the day, when you look back at your life, like, what do you want to say you did? Like, do you want to say, no, I settled, I just chose path B and I chose safety and security, and this is what I did for 60 years? If you want that, that's fine. But if you're sitting at the crossroads and you're like, man, I really want path A, I'm just scared to do it, choose path A, my friends, and burn the boats to path B. You have to burn everything there of any possibility of turning around there, because if you have those possibilities there, I can guarantee you that it will be extremely difficult in path A, right? So when I first left the bank, I had not necessarily, I'd chosen path A, but I had not fully burned path B because I always knew I could go back and get a job. It was right before I started Legacy Farmer that I was like, nope, we're done with this. Like I'm killing that opportunity and even possibility in my life. I'm choosing path A and we're going and we're building this. That's it. And then all of a sudden it was like, God was like, okay, finally you earned your stripes. Like, here you go. Right. And everything started happening. And here we are, 4 years later, and 300 members inside of our community, and our incredible team that we have. Like, everything took off. But it was such an impactful moment there back in 2018 when I had to make that decision. So again, a lot of you are at that point in your life. I'm going to tell you, burn the boats to path B, completely wipe that option off the table, choose path A, and just get mentally prepared for the lessons that God has planned for you. Because those struggles, my friends, like that you're going to go through, those struggles are meant to happen. And it's God preparing you for your purpose, just so you know. Like those struggles aren't to force you pain or anything like that. It's literally to build the individual that is destined to go and walk down the path that God has planned for you. Like that is so freaking true. And I believe that deep in my soul that is exactly what happens here. So all we have to do is when you're going through that struggle, you're going through that hard time, you got to switch your perspective on it. And it's like, what lessons is God trying to teach me here? Who's he trying to make me become here so that I can handle what he has planned for me going forward? Because I can guarantee you he has great things planned for you. He does not have bad things planned for anybody. I truly feel that people that are acting right and trying to do good in this world, there's nothing but great things ahead for them in their life that God has planned for them long term. Now, there are going to be hardships along the way, yes. Or there are going to be losses along the way, yes. But he has great things planned for all of us, and I truly believe that. And as long as we have that path B kind of sitting there and we could choose that, he's not going to let us fully experience path A. He's not going to fully bring everything to us that he has planned for us because we're keeping that safety net there attached. And we got to cut off the safety net and we have to fully choose path A and then just watch what happens in New World. Like truly, just watch what happens and it'll be amazing. And you will grow as a person, as an individual. Your perspective and your awareness as a person, as a business owner, and everything will change dramatically because you're forced to now. Now you finally given him permission to teach you all the lessons that he had intended for you because you ripped away the safety net, right? So good for you. And so with the member inside of our group that made that decision and chose path A, good for them. Good for them. Like truly, like deep in my heart, good for you because you just made a decision and a commitment to yourself and your family going forward that is going to change your children's and grandchildren's lives. And it's going to change your life as well. And you are going to get to feel every ounce of that. You are going to get to know that, hey, I earned this. Like this was not given. And that is an incredible feeling, my friend. So I hope any of you listen to this podcast right now, if you're stuck at the crossroads like that, I hope that you find it deep within you to choose path A, change your life for yourself and your family going forward and the legacies that follow. So that concludes today's episode, my friend. I hope you found it valuable and we will catch you on the next one. What's up, everyone? My name is Jace Young. I'm the founder of a company called Legacy Farmer, and inside of that company, what we do is we've helped over 300 family farms simplify and streamline the entire financial side of their operation and help them learn their numbers at a deep, deep level so that they can implement the systems and the processes to make sure that their operation lives on for generations into the future.